In this video, I'm going to show you why holding it together isn't strength and how suppressing your emotion quietly keeps your nervous system in a constant state of survival. If you're the kind of person who's really good at staying composed and solving problems and keeping everyone else around you steady, but inside you feel tense, tired, or just off, this video will explain why. And I'll show you how to release that pressure in a way that's safe, simple, and doesn't require therapy or breakdowns. We're going to unpack the hidden cost of emotional control, the balloon effect that keeps you stuck, and how to create emotional safety without losing composure. Stick with me by the end, and you'll see why the thing you think is protecting you is actually the thing that's keeping you stuck. The safety of expression, why suppressed emotion turns into stress. The myth of being strong. From a young age, you were probably taught that strength means composure. Be calm, don't cry, don't make it worse. So you learn to control your emotions, to hold it together when everyone else fell apart. In the moment, that served you. It made you capable, reliable, and impressive. But here's the part no one told you. What the mind hides, the body holds. Every time you swallow anger, bury sadness, or silence fear, your nervous system has to hold that energy for you. The body keeps the tab open until one day it starts collecting interest in the form of tension, exhaustion, anxiety, or even physical pain. The open loop you never knew you had. You see, emotions are not just feelings. They're physiological events, waves of energy your body is designed to complete. When you suppress an emotion, it's like pausing a song halfway through and never hitting play again. The emotional loop stays open, and your nervous system keeps running it in the background, draining your energy quietly. It takes a lot of work to hold on to that. This is why people say stress lives in the body, because it literally does. That tight jaw could be unspoken anger. Heavy chest, unexpressed grief. The restlessness, repressed fear. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. The balloon effect. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your nervous system as a balloon. Every time you suppress, you add air. You don't notice it at first. You're managing, you're functioning, you're performing. But one small trigger, one email, one comment, one sleepless night, and suddenly the balloon is at its breaking point. That's the panic attack that seems to come out of nowhere, quote unquote. The burnout that blindsides you, the moment you lose it over something tiny. You didn't fail, you didn't break, you just ran out of space to store what you refused to feel. The reason emotion feels unsafe. Here's the twist most people never understand. It's not the emotion that scares you. It's what the nervous system associates with it. If, when you were young, expressing anger made people withdraw, or crying made you feel shame, or sadness made others uncomfortable, your system learned that feeling equals disconnection to the people in your life. And as a child, that is deadly. Because if your environment doesn't accept you as a child, if they start to disconnect from you, that means death, because children need their caregivers to survive. And so your body built a strategy. Avoid the feeling, disconnect from self, because that's what avoiding the feeling does, please the people around you, and stay quote unquote safe, temporary safety. It worked then, but now it's outdated. Because in adulthood, suppression doesn't protect you, it isolates you. And it actually does that when you're a kid too. But having the environment accept you is more important than being yourself as a child. There's a hierarchy as far as survival goes. And your nervous system doesn't know this yet. It doesn't realize that it's creating isolation and you don't need to do it anymore because it's still living with a child's nervous system. And that's the real work, teaching your body that it's safe to feel again. Here's the safe expression framework. So how do you do that without losing control or falling apart? Well, you got to start small. 10 minutes a day is a good start. Find a quiet space and ask yourself one question. What am I feeling right now that I haven't given myself permission to feel? Write what comes up. Don't fix it. Don't analyze it. Just give emotion a voice. Now, depending on how much of a wall you have between your mind and your emotion, you might need to chip away at this thing, because I know a lot of people will do this practice and they're just like, I don't feel anything. There's nothing there. And then they finally feel like this surface emotion of I'm uncomfortable, or maybe sensations are the easiest thing to feel. So the difference between a sensation and emotion, a sensation is your body communicating, and emotion is a feeling communicating. So it's important to go slow with this and be consistent with this, and ask follow-up questions, right? Like if nothing comes up, breathe and ask again, like what else? What's underneath this sensation that I'm feeling? What's underneath the restlessness? What's underneath the numb, right? Like just keep probing. Because the second question and these follow-up questions is where the truth usually lives. And when the emotion surfaces, let it. Tears, tension, words, movement, however it needs to leave, let it. Don't, in those moments, be mindful of the narrative, right? Like you're upset about something, but then you create a narrative to justify, hey, that person didn't really mean it. The intentions were good. Like, this is not about trying to make sense of it. It's just about giving that part of you permission to feel again. When it happens, you're not breaking down, you're discharging stored energy. You're closing a loop your body's been holding for years. This is so important when we're talking about chronic stress, because it's chronic. It's been there a long time. Let me tell you a story about the founder who couldn't feel. I once worked with a founder who said, I don't feel anything anymore, quote unquote. He built a multi-million-dollar company, but he couldn't enjoy it. There was no joys, no sadness, nothing, just numb. We traced it back to his childhood, a house where emotions were dangerous. He learned early, if he stayed logical, he stayed safe. So his body became brilliant at shutting down emotion. During one session, he let himself feel, and yes, he did start to cry for the first time in decades. And afterwards he said, I felt lighter, my body just exhaled for the first time. This wasn't weakness. This was regulation, and takes a ton of courage to do that. So why does this work? Well, here's what's actually happening when you express an emotion. You're shifting your nervous system from fight or flight into recovery. You're proving to your body, I can feel this and still be safe. Over time, this becomes the new baseline. Instead of constantly managing emotions, you start metabolizing them, or as I like to say, integrating them. They pass through, they don't pile up. You stop needing control to stay calm, because calm becomes your natural state. Here's what's beautiful about this work. When you let your emotions complete, they stop controlling you. You'll find yourself less reactive, more present, more alive. The constant background hum of tension fades, and for the first time, rest feels real, not earned, because your body isn't guarding anymore. It's home. So what can you do right now? If you've been holding it all in, if you're tired of being the strong one who never gets to feel, start with this practice tonight. Take that 10 minutes and ask, what am I feeling right now? Let it speak. Then comment below and tell me what surfaced. I read every one and reply personally with insight on what your body is trying to show you. And if you're ready to go deeper, to retrain your nervous system to feel safe in expression instead of fear, book a consult with me. In the description below, you'll find a link. Because peace doesn't come from holding it together. It comes from finally feeling safe enough to let it go. Because your body isn't guarding anymore. It's finally home.